when I was 24 years old, I was diagnosed with a stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. I started to lose a lot of weight. I felt very tired. I had numerous tests that all came back negative for different sorts of ailments, and then one day I noticed in my right shoulder here a lump had come up, and I was sent off for a scan. And I remember opening the envelope to read the scan notes before I went, and the doctor wrote lymphoma, ? I was a bit relieved to know that I actually wasn't suffering from something else, or, like once I'd had a diagnosis, I'd felt so off for so long, I was quite relieved. But then the process starts of meeting doctors and oncologists, and that's where I was lucky enough to come into contact with Professor Michael Boyer. He was a 35-year-old oncologist when I first met him, and we had an instant connection, and that's when I knew I was in the right place for my treatment. What value do you put on your life? Chris O'Brien Lifehouse is an organisation that essentially saved my life. So when I was diagnosed and treated, it was a very hodgepodge sort of a process. So you would go and get your blood tests in one area of the hospital, then you'd come back and they'd see if your cell count was high enough to have chemotherapy. If you had to have a scan, you'd go to another area of the hospital. Sometimes you'd even have to leave the hospital and go somewhere totally separate for a test for whatever reason. Now, what we have now at Lifehouse today is an integrated building, one-stop shop, where patients can come, they have all of their clinical treatments, operating theatres, whatever they need to be treated is all in one area. As far as having everything in one place, I mean, that's just amazing. Well, having a young family and, life is expensive, as we all know at the moment. I wanted to do something extra that I knew after the kids have finished school and my wife and I are on our own. I wanted to give something a little bit greater. And that's why I saw my solicitor and changed my will and have left a donation to Lifehouse as a thank you for what they've given me, which is essentially a life of good health after my illness. And I can honestly say that it feels good to do that, and I'm sure during my annual donations as well, when we come to the end of our lives, that's the least I can do to say thank you for an organisation that saved my life.